Hi, I'm Rowan from South Point Films. Let's look at copyright and how it affects your videos. Now before we start, I must disclaim that I'm not a lawyer. This video isn't in any way, shape or form intended to be legal advice. I'm just sharing my understanding of UK law. You should independently fact check all of the information in this video before acting upon it, and you should speak to a legal professional if you need advice. Now that that's been said, let's look at copyright and how it affects your videos. If you're not familiar, copyright is a legal mechanism that assigns ownership to intellectual property, such as images, music, and videos. In the UK, copyright is granted on an original piece of work the moment it's created. For example, if you take a photo or write a song, you own the copyright on that photo or song immediately, so long as everything in that photograph or song is your own original piece of work. If you take a photo of someone else's artwork or record a cover of a pop song, you're in much murkier territory. But for this exercise, let's assume your creation is your own 100% original work. From the moment it's created, it's your property to do with as you please. For a photo, you could make prints and sell copies to people, or you could display your photo in a gallery or put it on a t-shirt. With a song, you could put it on streaming services, burn it onto a CD and sell it, have vinyls pressed, or play the song live at concerts and events. Nobody can stop you from using your work as you see fit. And nobody else can use your work without getting your permission first. If they use your work without permission, you'd be able to take them to court and demand that they stop. And they'd have to, or else they'd get in serious trouble. This is how copyright works, in very simple terms. There are plenty of asterisks I could add to these examples, and we could end up discussing them for hours. There's a reason why a whole industry of copyright lawyers have jobs, but that's not the point of this video. So, if you make something, you can do whatever you like with it, and other people can't use it for their own purposes without your permission. Got it? Now, what happens if you want to use someone else's copyrighted work in something that you're making? Like, for example, using a song in the background of your company's latest video. This is where we start diving into some of those asterisks I mentioned, and understandably, it does get confusing for a lot of people. When you buy a song on CD, or from an online retailer like iTunes or Amazon Music, you're buying a copy of that song that you can listen to on your computer, copy to your phone, and play on other devices. But the copyright of that song still belongs to the owner. You didn't buy that. All the owner has done is sold you a license to download a copy of the song and listen to it for your own personal enjoyment. If you want to use that song commercially, you'll need a different sort of licensing agreement that covers that type of usage. For pop songs, the licensing process can be very complicated and very expensive, and using commercial music in videos isn't covered by other types of music licenses like PRS or PPL, which you might already have in your workplace. But thankfully, there are plenty of stock music websites that contain libraries of music specifically licensed for commercial use. It's where I got this absolute banger from. Another common misconception is what the copyright is on free-to-access content, like videos on YouTube or images on Google Image Search. A significant number of people seem to think that because it's freely available to view, they can then use it however they like, but unfortunately, you'll find that the terms and conditions of these services don't let you use this content commercially without permission either. Like music, there are plenty of stock photo and video libraries that you can get fully licensed media from when you need it. They're not always the cheapest route for getting media content, but they're almost certainly cheaper than having a copyright lawsuit land on your doorstep. Of course, the only thing stopping you from using any intellectual property owned by someone else is their copyright. And if you desperately need to use a piece of copyrighted work for a project you're working on, you can always try asking the owner for permission. The owner might say yes, or they could offer to license it to you for a fee. I'm sure you're thinking this whole copyright thing is a massive pain in the backside, and I empathise with you, because sometimes it can be. But you have to remember that there are many artists and creators out there making their living exclusively from licensing that work for other purposes. Heck, in some respects, it's how I make my living. The moment that you use someone else's work for free, you're denying them of the financial compensation they deserve for their hard work. Would you want to go to work for a whole day and not be paid for it? Or for, in some cases, weeks, months, years? That's how long some of these projects take. I didn't think so. And of course, it's not only artists and creators who benefit from copyright. If your company makes a promotional video, copyright means that your competitors can't go out there and steal bits of it to use for their own purposes too. All in all, copyright is a great thing, and it means that anyone who spent time developing an original idea, product, or piece of work can be rewarded appropriately for it. There's much more to copyright than what we've gone into in this blog, but I hope it's helped you get your head around the basic ideas of this complex, thorny, but ultimately beneficial legal mechanism.
Will I get in trouble for using a commercial song on my Instagram stories?
Oh no. So this is definitely one of those asterisks, and it's a big one too. So any of those social media sites that let you add a commercial song as a soundtrack for your video, no, you're probably going to be fine, so long as you're adding the song directly in the app from the social media network's library of music. You won't get in trouble for using that Billie Eilish song on your TikTok video. That's because TikTok has an agreement with various record labels, which means it's okay for those songs to be used on their platform. But the license will only cover videos that appear on their platform. So if you take that TikTok video and upload it to your website or to your Facebook page, you could be leaving yourself open for trouble. The same goes with GIFs from TV shows. It's okay to use them for posts and comments on social media platforms like Facebook or LinkedIn if they have a GIF library. But if you start uploading TV show GIFs to your website or incorporating them in your corporate videos, you're likely to be violating the terms of the GIF library. They really don't make it easy, do they?